There is an urgent message that needs to be heard. It's not just a simple warning. It's a call to action that comes straight from the heart of Jesus Christ. The story revolves around a man who is about to face an arrest. But this arrest is not just a legal matter. It's a spiritual turning point. This is a moment of divine intervention, a critical time when things are about to change forever. Time is running out, and there is an intensity in the air. The arrest is coming, but so is God's powerful move. Type 111 to affirm that your breakthrough is near. What makes this situation even more pressing is that the arrest is not just an ordinary event. It's part of a larger divine plan, a plan that's unfolding behind the scenes, even though it might not be visible to the naked eye. The man, who may or may not be someone you know, is about to walk into a battle that's not just physical but deeply spiritual. God's hand is already at work, preparing the way for a great change in this man's life. It's a spiritual warfare, one that is being fought for his very soul. Hit like if you're agreeing in faith for your miracle. This man's life is about to take a dramatic turn. The decisions he has made so far have led him down a path that seems to stray farther and farther from God's calling. These choices, whether small or large, have slowly led him to a place where his arrest is almost inevitable. But God is never far away. He sees every step, every decision, and he is not willing to let this man slip away without offering a chance at redemption. The urgency of this moment is undeniable. The man's arrest is not just a legal issue. It's a spiritual moment that will cause him to pause and face the consequences of his choices. There's a reckoning coming, but within it, there is also a chance for reflection. God's timing is perfect, and sometimes it's in our darkest moments that he gets our attention the most. This arrest, this event, might just be the very thing that stops this man in his tracks and forces him to confront the reality of his life. Share this with someone who needs a word of encouragement today. It may seem like the arrest is a setback, a tragedy waiting to happen. But in the eyes of God, it's an opportunity for a wake-up call that will pull this man out of spiritual darkness. The arrest could be the very moment when his heart is open to change. God often works in unexpected ways, and he is never absent in our struggles. Even when we face challenges that seem insurmountable, God is often using those very challenges to draw us closer to him. Type 111 if you're claiming victory in your life. This is not just about a man being arrested. It's about a moment when God steps into the situation, ready to transform it. Jesus Christ is always ready to meet us where we are, and sometimes it's when we're at our lowest that we are most ready to hear his voice. This man might not see it now, but what's ahead could be the most significant change in his life. God's plans are bigger than what we can understand, and what may seem like a setback could be the key to his spiritual breakthrough. The clock is ticking and things are moving fast. The arrest is coming soon, but there is a deeper, more important truth to remember. God is already at work behind the scenes. While we may be caught up in the urgency of the moment, God's hand is already preparing the way. His timing is perfect, and he is never caught off guard. He's been working in ways that are unseen, setting the stage for this man's life to be forever altered. Like and share if you're standing in faith for a breakthrough. This is a spiritual battle being fought for the soul of a man. It's not just a legal matter. It's a matter of life and death, of eternal consequences. And God has already set everything in motion. The arrest may seem like a crisis, but in the grand plan of things, it's a divine opportunity for a miracle. The story is just beginning, and what happens next will have eternal significance. The stage is set, and God's work is just getting started. The situation surrounding this man's arrest is more than just a consequence of his actions. It's a deep spiritual struggle. Each decision he made, each path he took, has led him further away from the light of God's truth. It's as though his life has been drawn into a web, a series of choices that now seem impossible to untangle. But what might look like a hopeless situation to the world is seen very differently by God. His ways are higher than ours, and He sees the potential for redemption even when we can't. Type 111 to declare that God's plan is at work in your life. This arrest is not an ordinary event. It's a wake-up call, a final chance for this man to stop and reflect on his life. It's a moment of intervention, a turning point that God is using to get his attention. The man may have wandered far from the right path, but God doesn't give up on people so easily. This arrest is God's way of saying, I still care about you. It's not too late to turn around. Behind the scenes, a battle is raging. The man's soul is at stake, and the forces of darkness have been pulling him away from God for so long. But this is where God steps in. While the man may have felt trapped in his own choices, God is now offering a way out. The arrest might seem like the end of the road, but in reality, it could be the beginning of something new, a fresh start. God can break through the bondage of sin and offer freedom, no matter how long someone has been caught in its grip. Type 555 if you believe your breakthrough is on the way. God's heart is always for restoration. He doesn't want to see anyone lost, and He will go to great lengths to bring people back to Him. This man's impending arrest is a divine moment of intervention. It's a crossroads in his life, a place where he will have to confront the consequences of his actions. But it's also a place where he can choose a new direction. Sometimes we think that the difficult moments in life are signs that we are beyond help. But God's ways are different. He often uses moments of crisis to reveal His love and offer a way of escape. This man might not see it now, but his arrest could be the moment that forces him to pause, to rethink everything, and to see the truth in a way he never has before. It might be his wake-up call, the moment when he finally acknowledges the depth of his need for God. Share this with someone who needs to hear this word today. When people are at their lowest, that's often when God is closest to them. The man may feel lost and confused right now, but God is right there with him. He's in the midst of this situation, working even when the man doesn't realize it. God's love never leaves us, even when we walk away. And in this moment, God is working behind the scenes, preparing this man's heart for what's to come. The arrest might look like an end, but in God's hands, it's the beginning of a new chapter. What might seem like the end of the road for this man could be the very thing that saves him. The arrest is not just an event, it's a spiritual encounter. God is offering him a chance to reflect, to change, and to choose a new path. The man doesn't know it yet, but this is a moment of divine intervention. God is not finished with him yet. There is still hope, still time for a miracle to happen. The arrest might be the thing that brings him face to face with his need for God's grace. In the midst of this spiritual battle, there is hope. It might seem like the situation is beyond repair, but with God, nothing is impossible. This man's arrest is a pivotal moment, a chance to stop, reflect, and turn back toward God. It's a turning point, one that God is using to bring him back from the brink. This is not the end of his story. It's the beginning of his redemption. And through this, God's glory will shine brighter than ever. Comment Amen if you're walking in God's promises today. In the midst of this man's struggles, God's plan for redemption is unfolding. Jesus Christ is known for His ability to take broken lives and make them whole again. No matter how far someone has wandered, no matter the mistakes they've made, God's grace is always available. His mercy is vast, and He specializes in offering second chances to those who feel they don't deserve them. The man might feel hopeless right now, but God is at work, preparing to redeem his life in a way that will leave him forever changed. The arrest that is coming may seem like the end of the road, but it's actually a pivotal moment where God's mercy and justice will meet. The man may have been running from God for years, making choices that led him farther and farther away from his presence. But God's mercy is never too late. This man, in his darkest moment, is about to encounter a love that will chase after him, no matter how far he's gone. The arrest, though painful and difficult, could be the event that opens his heart to God's love. Like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to witness miracles. God's plan for redemption is not something that happens by chance. It's intentional, and it's always rooted in love. This man might have felt abandoned by everyone, but God has always seen him. Through every decision, every mistake, God's eyes have never left him. And now, in the midst of his darkest hour, God is calling him back. Remember that your role is significant. You might not be the one arresting this man or having direct contact with him, but God has placed you in this situation for a reason. Your intercession is part of his plan for redemption, and as you stand in the gap, you are participating in something far greater than yourself. The future of this man's life could very well be shaped by your willingness to pray, to trust, and to believe in the power of God's mercy. God has chosen you, and he will use your faithfulness to make a difference in this man's life. Amen.